Good afternoon, one and all. I'm Dr. Lakshmi S. So, hello and welcome to Next Generation Talks, where we dive deep into cutting edge research and innovation shaping the future of technology, cloud, and digital transformation. I am your host from PhDIans, and today we are joined by Mr. Harish Govinda Gowda, DevOps Engineer at Promates Technologies LLC, prolific researcher and innovator. HD Gowda has authored numerous publications spanning Kubernetes scaling, Terraform automation, SRE frameworks, DevSecOps pipelines, cloud governance, and observability. Beyond his enterprise research, he has also pioneered AgrotechOps Box, an infrastructure as code-driven smart framing system integrating GitOps and self-healing automation into agriculture. Harish, it's an honor to have you with us today. So now we will enter into journey into the clouds and DevOps. You have published extensively since 2019, covering everything from your journey into cloud and DevOps begins, sir.
It's a DevSecOps basically. So it all started with my curiosity about automation. So early in my career, I noticed a team spending a lot of time on repetitive infrastructure work. When I came across Terraform and the concepts of infrastructure as a code clicked. So this could change how we handle scale and reliability. That curiosity pushed me deeper into Kubernetes, observability, and eventually into SRE practices.
So now we will go to cloud migration strategies. You have written about AWS and GCP migration strategies. What lesson did you learn from hybrid cloud transition?
So the one big lesson I learned is that migration is not just about technology. So it's also about culture. Teams often overlook things like compliance, data, and change management. So in my 2021 work, I focused on phased migration, prioritizing workloads and hybrid models. So instead of just lifting and shifting, which is a traditional model, so the real success comes from analyzing and adapting to situations.
Sir, you have explored scaling Kubernetes for HCL Commerce and AEM. What were your main findings, sir?
So the e-commerce traffic is unpredictable. Scaling is not only about adding parts and nodes, it's also about the caching, CCD, and observability. So my work showed that tuning auto scaling with custom metrics cut latency by 35%. So hybrid clusters also gave resiliency during high traffic events like seasonal sales.
Okay, thank you, sir. You have also published on Terraform and Packer. Why is IAC so critical today?
So the consistency is everything. IAC makes infrastructure versionable, testable, and reliable. So with tools like Terraform and Packer, teams avoid drift, boost security, and scale faster. So in one case, IAC reduced provisioning errors by 42%. It's not just automation, so it builds a trust and better governance.
Okay. Sir, you have done interesting works on observability. How should modern SRE teams approach it?
So the observability should always be tied to SLOs, logs, metrics, and traces or signals. But SLOs make them meaningful. So in my work, like embedding or combining Splunk Dynatrace and Stack drivers helped track error budgets. So predict outages and even trigger automated runbooks.
Sir, you have also written about self-healing SRE framework. How realistic is this version?
So it's not feature vision, it's already here. By automating runbooks and linking them to smart triggers. We moved from firefighting to proactive fixes. So in one case, recovery time dropped from almost 40 minutes to under 5 minutes.
Sir, your 2020 publication touched on the event-driven DevSecOps. Why is security integration is so important, sir?
So security has to be built in from the start by embedding tools like SonarQube, Barracuda, and Vault into pipelines. So vulnerabilities get caught early. Event-driven pipelines allow real-time scanning and compliance checks without slowing delivery.
Sir, governance across AWS and GCP seems complex. How do you approach IAM and policy enforcement, sir?
So the real challenge is scale. IAM policies that work for 50 people break when you have 5,000. So my approach is policy as code, central guardrails and automations. Governance should guide developers, not to hold them back actually.
Thank you, sir. You have studied incident response frameworks. What's your philosophy here, sir?
So the error budgets are the compass. They help you decide when to prioritize stability or new features. In my research, companies cut major outages by 28% when they align release velocity with error budgets. The key is discipline, like we measure, learn, and adjust, tweak it as we need it.
Sir, what insights did you gain from the managing multi-tenant Kubernetes for AEM and HCL commerce, sir?
So the foundation is isolation, things like quotas, namespaces, and role-based access, which is a short form of RBAC, keeps tenants from stepping on each other. So my research showed that adding GitOps pipelines with tenant-specific Helm charts cut conflicts by 70%.
Sir, you have also written on transitioning CI/CD from Docker to Kubernetes. What's your takeaway, sir, from that?
So the shift is as much cultural as technical. So teams need new skills, monitoring, and observability. But once in place, Kubernetes-based CI/CD pipelines gave us resiliency, zero downtime deployment, and quick rollbacks for apps like Node.js, Next.js, HL Commerce, and many more applications.
Sir, you have discussed WAF, Vault, and Zero Trust practices. How do these change develops workflows, sir?
So Zero Trust adds to discipline. No one, whether a user or workload, gets automatic trust. So Vault secures the secrets, WAF protects apps, and policies enforce least privileges. So instead of slowing things down, Zero Trust provides confidence to shift faster with security baked in it.
Sir, now let's shift to gears to your innovation. AgrotechOps Box. What inspired it, sir?
So I noticed a parallel between IT and farming. Just like companies deal with silos, farmers deal with disconnected devices like sensor, pumps, drones. So all on a different dashboards. AgrotechOps Box uses IAC and GitOps to bring everything together, automate, and even self-heal farms.
Thank you for your insights. Can you share some results from your AgrotechOps case studies, sir?
See, in Nasik vineyards, precision irrigation saved 22% water over 4 million liters. So, an improved grape quality while reducing diseases by 18%. So, in Sri Lanka, cooperative of 50 farmers improved yield by 15%, reduced irrigation conflicts by 90%, and gained trust with digital governance.
Sir, where do you see the future heading, both in DevOps and agriculture?
I see these words coming together. DevOps practices like IAC, GitOps, and observability won't stay limited to IT. So they would spread into areas like farming, healthcare, and energy. The future is cross-domain automation, so where technology is not just scalable but also meaningful for society.
So thank you very much, sir, for your insights. Now our audience are curious to ask some questions. So now our audience will interact with you, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. So the
Good
question is,
afternoon.
what motivated you to stay focused on DevOps research since 2019?
So what motivates? Okay, the field evolves so quickly. Kubernetes today looks nothing like it did in 2019. The constant change keeps me motivated.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Mhm.
Good afternoon, sir. The question is, how do you balance research and full-time engineering work?
So by integrating them, problems I face at work often becomes the research topics, so it doesn't feel separate.
Okay, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. What
Good
skills
afternoon.
should students build for a DevOps career?
So that's a good question. I'm like, start with basics learning Linux, networking, scripting. So then move to IAC, containers, Kubernetes, and CI/CD. And don't forget communication. So DevOps is all about collaboration.
Thank you, sir.
Mhm.
Very good afternoon, sir. What do you
Good
say
afternoon.
infrastructure as code?
Sorry, say again. So what do I see?
Infrastructure as code.
Do I see infrastructure as a code? So the IAC turns IAC infrastructure as a code, which enables the engineer to versionate, testable, and trackable. So having IAC or policy as a code and infrastructure as a code is way to go.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Good afternoon, sir. I would want to know what was the toughest project you have worked on?
So the toughest project is it was always managing IAM and governance to enterprise scale. So managing policies across regions and clouds was incredibly complex. So I'm like, okay, what should you select? I'm like, start with the real projects and case studies. So just don't wait for perfection. So even small lessons can help others. So just start with something which is very basics.
Thank you, audience. If no more questions, Harish sir, it has been an incredible conversation from Terraform and Kubernetes scaling to AgrotechOps Box transforming agriculture. Your journey shows how DevOps principles can impact both enterprises and communities. Thank you for sharing your insights, sir.